right, so good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants broadcast. Now, we are in our home stretch. June is here. We've got Oceans Week coming next week with, I think, 30 amazing programs with scientists and explorers around the world. But today, we are going to do something completely and utterly different, something we've done a few times throughout the course of the year to great fanfare. And so I'm so excited to have classes from all across Canada and the U.S. Virgin Islands today joining us for what should be a very fun and exciting adventure. We are going to have a bit of a dance party. We are joined live in the Yukon by Remy Rodden, who's going to talk to us today about thinking about the wild. He is an educator, singer, songwriter, performer, adventurer, philosopher, the greatest single title in one of our bios we've ever had, I think. And today we are going to play around together with some music and learn a lot about the natural world in the process. So I'm so excited to dive in. I think you guys had a little bit of a fun dance party with that countdown to get underway, and we are going to double down on that with some really fun times over the next 25 minutes. So without further ado, you don't want to hear me talk anymore. That's not the fun that we're here for. I'm going to turn it over to Remy to have a lot of fun with us, and I cannot wait to get underway. So Remy, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Oh man, I'm so excited to be here. Jesse, I love your enthusiasm.
Absolutely. How can, honestly, I mean, this is the best job in the world, but even among all the other programs we do, how often do I get the chance to bring someone like you in with our classes? So I'm so excited to dive in, and do take us away.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Bienvenue. I just wanted to start by giving you a little context of where I live. I live at that little dot right there, Whitehorse, Yukon, which is way up by Alaska. And I know we have people here from Nova Scotia and the British Virgin Islands. That's a long way away. So if you ever come to Canada, or any of you that from Nova Scotia, come visit. We'd like to have visitors here in the Yukon. I'm actually on the traditional territory of the Kwanlundun and Tanquachan First Nations. We actually have 14 different First Nations in the Yukon, but they're the ones that are in this area of Whitehorse. So very important to me. First Nations is a very important part of our culture here and our territory. I'm going to be giving you a few different backgrounds here. So as I do that, hopefully I can keep talking and keep you engaged, but I'm going to put in this one first because this is my most famous song and one of the ones that's actually most fun to participate in. Who knows, maybe some of you even know this song. Many of you have probably heard that word, habitat, and in French, l'habitat. This is what we all need to survive. And we think about wildlife and their needs, but these are things that people need as well. So what are those? They're right over here. Food, water, shelter, and space. My guitar is in the way there, but food, water, shelter, and space. And so in this song, I'm going to invite you to do some actions, and I'll actually have Jesse come back and lead you on those. Just, you know, it always helps to have somebody up front. So are you ready, Jesse?
I'm so ready. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. So let's do this thing. I'll be on the side together. We'll leave you most of the screen, and I'm at the chomping at the bit. Okay,
well, so first of all, the singing part, I will say, what's that? And you go habitat. Try that. What's that?
Habitat.
And then c'est quoi? L'habitat.
L'habitat.
Nice. Okay. And then there'll be a part where we go food, water, shelter, and space like this. I'll say food and repeat after me, and you pat your belly. That's your food. Okay? Food. Repeat after me. Food.
Food.
And then water. Water.
Water.
Shelter, like a house top.
Shelter.
Space.
Space.
Nice. Okay. Let's try that together.
Okay.
Food.
Food.
You got to repeat after me. Shelter. Sorry. I got it wrong. Food.
Food.
Water.
Water.
Shelter.
Shelter.
Space.
Space.
Okay, nice. So as we sing the song, because I know it's a really sharp group we have out there, if you hear me say those words, food, water, shelter, and space, you can make your symbol.
Yep.
Or if there's something that is a kind of food or a kind of shelter, you have to pay attention to the words to see and do those. But mostly I'd like you to do this part, food, water, shelter, space, together when it comes around in the song. So
and I'll get underway. And if our classes, if you guys want to get involved too, I'll bring you into the broadcast if you guys want to play along as well and have some fun. But I'm going to start off in our first round and we'll do it together.
I would love to see some of the classrooms out there doing the symbols.
All right, let's do it.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right, here we go. What's that? Habitat. C'est quoi? L'habitat. What's that? habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat, where is that? Try that again. What's that? Habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that? Habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat, where is that? Yeah. Now you must be thinking to yourself, now every living creature needs some space to roam. We all need some shelter we can call our home. We'll die without food and water. It's simple as that. We'll put it all together and it's called habitat. What's that? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that? Habitat. C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat, where is that? Okay, here we go. Food, water, shelter, and space. Food, shelter, space, food, water, shelter, space, water, shelter, space, habitat, habitat, where is that? Let's look at awesome out there, you guys. Now, just think about that beaver. He's in water. Did you guys see water all the time? He stockpiles leaves and branches. That's food all through the summertime. He stockpiles through the winter. And in the winter he stays back because under the ice outside his lodge.
Shelter.
And that's his habitat. Awesome, you guys. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Food, water, shelter, space. Are you ready? Here we go. And it's food, water, shelter, space, water, shelter, space, water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Now the grizzly bear needs lots of space to find all the food she needs to feed her cubs and her cubs real well with fish, raw meat, and berries. She gets her water from the lakes and streams, and by the autumn she's so fat. She stays in her den, doesn't eat all winter, and that's her habitat. Nice. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Food, water, shelter, space, one more time because it's fun. And we go. And it's food, shelter, space, food, water, shelter, space, food, water, shelter, space, habitat, habitat, where it's at. Encore une fois. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. One last time. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Habitat.
Oh,
man, I love
Remy. I don't need to work out in my day because I'm sweating buckets following along with these. This is fantastic. Way to go, classes. You guys are great. I know some classes joined us after we got underway, so we're going to do some sing-alongs all day today with Remy. We're going to learn some fun activities, and we're going to do those together in all our songs. But Remy, take us away. What's next after that incredible journey together?
Next after that, I just wanted to point out that right here, these mountains, this is this last winter, and I was actually teaching in a very small school in a place called Beaver Creek. It's Canada's most westerly community, and we only have 6 kids in our school. Can you imagine? Isn't that something? And this is a scene nearby, near Beaver Creek.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah. As you can tell, I love this territory. All right, so we are going to now sing a song about a mammal, a furry mammal that lives in water most of the time. I sang about it in that last song. What is it?
Oh, I don't know. What do we think, guys?
Big flat tail. Oh,
Miss Little's class. What's a mammal that lives in water? Oh, I think he's on the screen. We've got him. You want to unmute your mic?
Oh,
what do we think? A beaver. Beaver. Hey.
The beaver, yeah. And of course, you know, we this is one of Canada's national symbols and found everywhere through the boreal forest. Great animal. I have this big word up here, adaptations, because this animal has incredible adaptations, which means things that allows it to live in its environment. So it's got that big flat tail, which it used to slap. and scare away predators. It's got those webbed feet down there. It's got those funny little hands for gripping and moving. And of course, one of the big things is those teeth up on the front. Those are big, what we call incisors. You have those too, those big two front teeth. And a beaver is a rodent, just like a mouse or a squirrel and so on. And their teeth, they keep growing all the time. That's how they stay sharp. So they have to chew, or else the teeth will just grow around. And I've actually seen a skull of a beaver where the tooth is grown right around. So they need to chew all the time. And of course, other adaptations they have is that great fur that's waterproof. They can be under the water all the time. They build those cool lodges where they can survive through the winter. And build dams, of course. Everybody knows they build dams and build ponds. So they are incredible engineers. So this song talks about chewing and tails. So what I would invite you to do is when we sing, the part goes chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. All right. And then we slap your tails, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Okay, let's try that with the music. We'll see if Jesse got that, and I hope all of you out there in those classrooms have got it as well. So have a look at Jesse if you're...
I'm ready. Our classes are ready. We're all ready together.
Okay, here we go. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Nice. No time to play, there's work to do. Dams to build and logs to chew. Aspen wood tastes good, you know. Tree coming down, look out below. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Under the ice we dive down low. Our lodge is entered from below. It's warm and safe and dry because we're skillful engineers. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Well, rodents come in different sizes. We are big. Look at these incisors. Our teeth keep growing unless we're doing what we do best, and that is chewing. Let's see you guys chew. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail. Shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Keep flapping those tails. Flap your tail, catch the alarm, wet beaver away from harm. Mr. Otter loves to eat beaver snack and beaver meat. Oh, chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Flap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. Our waterproof hair and diving gear. Plugs for the nose and plugs for the ears. We wear diving goggles too. You see, we're built to swim and chew. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shut up now. I'm proud to be a beaver. Beaver ponds like flood control. In times of drought, they're a water hole. Don't forget your beaver pals. We build lodge dams and canals. Chew, 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 chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver again. Chew, chew, chew. That's what beavers do. We chew. Slap your tail, shout out loud. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver.
Way to go, classes! Miss Little! Welcome in, guys. Nice. Whoa. I got that one. I did better on that one than the first song, I think.
You did awesome, Jesse. And as far as I can see, a lot of those classrooms did too. So thank you so much for participating. Makes me feel really good when everybody is getting involved. In my point of view, music is not a spectator sport, like sitting down and watching a hockey game or something. You got to sing, tap your toes, do that sort of thing. So I'm going to sing now a song about Another animal that lives in the water, but it's not a mammal, so it doesn't have fur or does not have babies live. It doesn't feed its babies milk, but it's another animal that you would mostly think about in the water. And what do you think it is?
Ooh. Animal in the water, not a mammal. Could
Think
be a
about it. What is it?
turtle?
No.
No, I don't know. What do we think? Our classes, Miss Little's class. What do you guys think?
Keep going. I think it is. Yes. Yes.
Better than turtle. Hey, I was wrong.
There we go. Okay, I'm just bringing it up here. It's coming a bit slow, but
That's okay.
so there we go. There we go. Yay.
Hey.
Okay. This happens to be a salmon, and here in the Yukon, salmon are very important for everybody. All sorts of animals. Bears like to eat salmon, and people like to eat salmon. And this Chinook salmon makes an incredible long trip all the way from the Pacific Ocean up to where I am in Whitehorse and beyond, thousands of kilometers. It's one of the longest fish migrations in the world. And I think fish are very, very cool. And sometimes we don't think much about them. But I'm here today to help you to think about them and do what we can to save all parts of nature important. Fish, bugs, snakes, everything is important to take care of. So in this song, I would invite you to be like a fish by making gills like this. And gills are what they breathe with, right? Underwater. That's how they get the oxygen out of the water to survive. So in order to do that, I'm going to help you. Put your hands like this out towards me, then turn them around, bring them up towards your head, put them beside your ears. Okay, everybody's there, got their hands beside the ears, then find your thumbs and turn them outwards like that. And if you want, you can make yourself look like a fish, like that. And if you're being really brave, make a sound like a fish. What kind of sound does a fish make? Well, I've got a funny sound later that I'm going to share with you. But when it comes to that part, I'd like you to make any kind of fish sound that you want too. So let's try that. That's not mine. I'm going to keep it as a secret. Okay. So the other part of this, I'm going to go, why should we care about fish? I'd like you to just put your hand up in the air and go, fish! Awesome. I heard that. So let's try it again.
One, two, three. We got to do it on the cue together, guys. Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's wait. 1, 2, 3. Why should we care about fish? Fish! Okay, now when we're singing, wait until I say those words before you do the fish thing, because if we do it every time you hear the word fish, it's going to be a little chaotic. So
okay.
Let's do it that way. So here we go. Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
Okay, here we go. Now don't ever wish a world without fish, because they're slippy and slimy. Because each little fish has its own special and clear living waters and streams that are grimy. The fish is our neighbor, it could be our lunch. It's a creature I like much. Fish deserve our respect. They're part of the web that keeps us all fed. One fish is another, and then it's our dinner. They're pretty to look at, amazing to see on their own to recover or racing a river. They're absolutely fascinating. For adaptations, I give them a rating. Fish deserve our respect. And why should we care about fish? Fish! Everything in nature, they have a part to play. And why should we care about fish? Yay! Fascinating creatures with extraordinary features. Once you get to know them, they're okay. Once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. They're sleek and they're slim, and so they can swim at incredible speeds through a dense liquid medium. And some fish will travel to spawn and they travel from ocean to river. It's truly a marvel. They live under ice near sea that's way hotter. Fish are so cool they can breathe underwater. Let's see you guys breathe underwater with your gills.
Okay. Here we go.
Fish deserve our respect. Why should we care about fish? Fish! Like everything in nature, they have a part to play. And why should we care about fish? Fish! Extraordinary features. Once you get to know them, they're okay. Once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. Okay, so now get your gills up and put your lips like a fish if you want, and sing like a fish, like this. Now don't ever wish a world without fish, because you don't understand them. Because each little fish has its own special niche. They're a part of nature we mustn't abandon. We gotta have fish, the more the better. We'll make a big difference if we work together, you and me and everybody on this call, and all everybody. Oh, fish deserve our respect. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! By not using products that pollute the lakes and streams. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! Their habitat, no matter where it's at. Every little action is okay. Everything we do to help is great. Okay, get your gills up and let's sing. Fish!
Fish! Oh! That was a good fish sound. You know what? I've never heard a fish personally, but I can say definitively that if I did hear a fish, I think it would sound exactly like that.
Oh, buddy. Okay. All righty. Well, I'm going to slow things down a little bit here into a song that I am quite happy about because, well, I took the words of a First Nations elder here by the name of Art Johns. That's him up behind me. Where's that guy behind me?
Yeah.
Wearing the same kind of hat, it looks like. Art, unfortunately, passed away last year. Amazing man who was protecting the wildlife in the area that he lived in and just sharing his wisdom and knowledge around. And one time at a public meeting, he said, we need to live by I call them the 3 simple rules. And there they are. Respect all life, take only what you need, and use all that you take. And he was talking about how we use wildlife for subsistence, fish and animals for hunting and so on. But the more I thought about this is that how incredible these 3 simple rules are just about our everyday life, even if you don't do any of those things. But for instance, you always think about life and you're not going to buy some more stuff than you need. And if you do, use it a lot, don't just get a new toy because it's kind of cool and then put it away and not play with it. Make sure somebody else can use it when you're done with it. And you get the idea. So, okay, so I'm going to teach you the words here. I'm sorry that Art's in behind me there. It goes like this. Respect all life. Take only what you need. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. Okay, let's do that. Repeat after me. Respect all life. Try that. Respect all life. Take only what you need. Take only what you need. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. So that little part, for heaven's sakes, will change every time, but I'll tell you what it is ahead of time. So let's try that all together. Respect all life. Take only what you need. And for heaven's sakes, use all that you take. Granddad was a man who was wise as he could be, and he always fed his family from the land and from the sea. And he always fed his family from the bounties of this earth. Oh, he never was a rich man, but he knew his inner worth. And even though he had to take life to feed his family, he lived by 3 simple rules, and my dad taught these to me, and I taught them to you. Respect all life, take only what you need, and for heaven's sakes, use all that you take.
Nice job, classes.
Very good. Chief Joseph was a leader of his First Nations clan, and he always taught his people respect for the land. Every creature has a spirit, every plant a living soul. What a magic way to live a life, and it made his people whole. And even during hard times, he knew down in his heart the wisdom of those simple rules. Everyone must do their part. Everybody, for the spirit's sake, respect all life. Take only what you need, and for the spirit's sake, use all that you take. Let's do that again. Sounded so good. Respect all life. Take only what you need. For the spirit's sake, use all that you take. Nice. And now I am a person of the 21st century, and I wonder how to live my life on earth responsibly. For I know that there are limits, and we can't go on and on, consuming and polluting till everything is gone. And now I know the answers are as old as they can be. If my great-granddad were here today, he'd say these words to me. For the planet's sake, respect all life. Take only what you need, and for the planet's sake, use all that you take. Respect all life. Take only what you need, and for the planet's sake, use all that you take.
Nice job, classes.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you all, and thanks, Dart, for passing on those beautiful words of wisdom to us. All right, well, let's see. How about something that's a little more what we call contemporary, something a little environmental issue that's a problem right now. We're becoming more and more aware of it. And for those of you that live down by the ocean, I bet you are very aware of this one. And that is too much plastic in our environment. And of course, plastic's an amazing, incredible thing that, you wouldn't be driving your cars or the computers you use and so on. We wouldn't have those without plastics. But then there's all that junky stuff that ends up in landfills or in the ocean, plastic bags and straws and all that sort of thing. I think we can do a lot better in not using those and spreading them around. And we're kind of discovering now that when those plastics all break down, they get smaller and smaller little pieces, and those things get into animals and plants and even us sometimes. So not to scare you about that, but it's something that we can do, something individuals, you and me, we can actually do to reduce the amount of plastic that we use and put into the garbage. So I do say the word plastic a lot in this song, and I'm not sure how many times. If you'd like to actually, somebody wants to count, that could be kind of fun. But every time I say plastic in the song, I'd invite you to make a big X with your fingers or maybe with your arms like this so we can see you. And that's like X, it's crossing it out. Let's not use plastic, or at least the kind of throwaway kind of plastic. So how does that sound, everybody?
I think that sounds great. Okay, and our classes are ready. We got arm Xers, we got finger Xers, we got every kind of X. Maybe two people can like lean to the side, make body X's. Don't do that.
Wow. And if you did build this as a dance party, Jesse, so if anybody wants to get up and dance while we're doing this and that's acceptable in your classroom, let's do it. Okay, here we go. Well, we've all heard of plastic in the ocean. Oh, did you do your X? Let's try it again. Well, we've all heard of plastic in the ocean, a giant patch of garbage in the sea. There are piles of plastic at the recycling center, 'cause there's way too much to handle easily. We make far more plastic than we can deal with. Oh my, what are we to do? use less plastic in our daily lives. What that means is reduce and refuse, reduce, refuse. Let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Good word, you guys. Well, plastic is the most amazing product. It comes from oil in the ground. Mold it into any sort of shape and size. It takes a really long time to break down. But when it degrades, the tiny little pieces get into the water, land, and air. These microplastics will be here forever. One more reason we should care. Let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Let's sing like this. Wow, 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 wow. Now, plastic is the most amazing thing. We see it around us every day. But too much plastic creates a lot of problems. Together we've got to find a way to make it better. We can all do our part to reduce and refuse and make a change. Use less plastic and find alternatives. Encourage our friends to do the same. Let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Hope you don't think I'm being too bombastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic again. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic, cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Nice.
Oh, that was fun. There was some
Okay.
in Miss Little's class, especially a lot of big Xers there, but I love the enthusiasm and dancing, everybody. Nice job.
That's really cool. So, teachers or parents, whoever's listening in, you can help your kids learn about the alternatives to plastic, how we can reduce the amount of plastic in our lives, and encourage you to do the same, of course, like it says in the song. And maybe you could figure out what that word bombastic means too. All right. So what do you think, Jesse? Is it time for questions?
I think that would be fantastic. What a fantastic program. Thank you so much for the enthusiasm and all this. I will note for our class that any class that wants to learn more about plastic, I'm going to put this in the StreamYard chat and the YouTube chat. We partnered with a group called Oceanwise before that does some of the best plastic reduction stuff in the entire world. So if you want to learn more and dive in, I think that's a great follow-up to today's program. But for now, folks, I'd love to have some questions. So if you want to ask Remy about his songs, where he gets to perform, how he gets inspiration for all this, or anything else you want to ask, let's do that together. There's quite a few YouTube groups joining, YouTube friends. If you guys want to chime in, don't be shy. Feel free to share your questions in the chat. But what we'll do first is we'll head to Miss Benoit's class. Welcome in Cordis. If you guys have any questions for Remy, I'll bring you in and we'll get underway. Welcome in, guys.
How long have you been singing for?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been singing since I was a little boy. Apparently, my mother tells me when I was about 2, running around the house singing a Beatles song called "She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah." So I've been singing pretty well all my life, and I think it's one of the greatest things we can do to be happy and make the world a better place. So I hope you do sing too.
I certainly agree. My face hurts from smiling in today's program, so I think that's a pretty good testament to the power of song to lend itself to some pretty enthusiastic uptake from our classes and from adults too. Great question, Miss Benoit. Miss Little, I know you guys are eating lunch, so I'll come to you really quick now. If you have a question for Remy, just unmute, or I'll unmute your mic and you're good to go. Hey guys.
Hi, we are wondering, what is your favorite animal?
Ooh, you know, that's hard because there's so many great animals, but I'll tell you what it is. I've come to really love the bowhead whale. And the bowhead whale is a kind that's found up north of the Yukon in the Arctic Ocean in the Beaufort Sea and across the Arctic. And it is incredible. And we don't really know much about it, but it's one of the longest living animals on the planet. You know, we think of tortoises and so on, but they have discovered whales that are well over 200 years old, maybe 250 years old. They have the largest jaw, the largest mouth on the planet, and of course, you know, they are whales and mammals, and they are able to raise their young. They feed them milk. They're just incredible animals. So that's my favorite animal.
You're the first person to ever pick that as an animal. And I want to note for our classes that are keen, literally next week on Monday, we've got Bill Halliday joining us for the Canadian Oceans Week program. And he actually goes up to the Beaufort Sea to hear and listen in to the songs of the Arctic Ocean. So if you want a really nice follow-up to this, we got a chance to sing some songs by ourselves. We can hear some whale songs together of some of those bowhead whales if you join us next week. So what a great question. All right, our ABSK group, we've got all the initials today. If you want to unmute your mic, hi, little ones. If you have any questions for Remy, please do share, and then we'll take a few from YouTube as well. All right. Oh, there we go. Hey.
Kian, what did you want to ask? What did you want to ask? You forgot? Does anybody have a question? Come, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
What's the biggest whale in the world?
Oh, what's the biggest whale in the world?
No, well, the biggest whale in the world, as far as I know, is the blue whale, and they're a pretty incredible animal too. I used to go around to classrooms and talk in the Yukon and talk about animals and wildlife and habitat and so on. And we had a big inflatable blue whale. Actually, we had a bowhead whale as well, made out of construction plastic. There's a good use of plastic because we use it over and over again, and it's huge. It'll fill up a school gym, like one end to the other. And if anybody wants to contact me, I can send you the plans for how to build your own, or borrow one from somewhere. But the blue whale is the biggest whale.
So don't tease us with something like that, because we will absolutely reach out for the plans. That sounds amazing. And I saw the whale on your site. So if people want to check out Remy's website more, you can see a picture of that whale. It is quite incredible. I've got to say, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a classroom in my life. So great question, guys.
I'll just point out, Jesse, that the one you see on the website is the bowhead, which is my favorite. So it's not quite as big as the blue would be, but it's still pretty impressive.
It absolutely is. We're going to head to our live classes in just a second, but I love some of the questions coming in on YouTube. Raya wants to know, why do you like to talk about the earth? Of all the topics you could choose with your songs, why that?
Oh, man, that's a good question. It's just because it's really the most important thing. If we didn't have the earth, we would not be here. And everything that we do as human beings depends on the natural ecosystem, the natural world, the things that we take out of the environment and put back in. In a way, there's nothing more important. So I just decided to choose to choose the most important thing to talk about. And of course, you'll also notice in almost all of my songs, I talk about the things that we can do as individuals, or maybe as groups, or even as countries and internationally to make the world a better place. But we do have to take care of it, or else not only will we be in trouble, but a lot of the different animals and plants as well.
Well, I think it's an absolutely beautiful answer. And I like that you mentioned that it's impacting us. I think a lot of people assume that, if climate change happens, if some of these problems, marine plastic, it's going to impact animals. And sometimes for people, there's a bit of a disconnect on why they should care about that. But principally, it's going to affect us, and it is affecting us right now. And I think it's so important to highlight those solutions that our classes can do together. And so I absolutely love listening to your song today. And I hope our classes take the opportunity to pay close attention to those lyrics that we had the chance to dance along to today, because they really are some fantastic fantastic ways of encouraging you to get involved. All right, we'll head to YouTube for a couple more, and then we'll go back to our live groups. Time flies when you're having fun, so I know we've got only a few more minutes together. But Miss Babbitt's class has a couple questions. What inspires you? That could be a deep one.
Well, I mean, obviously, just the beauty of this planet inspires me. I mean, I can't say much more than that. You know that if you've all seen the pictures of the Earth from space. Here's a representation of our little planet floating through the cosmos, if you will, through the universe. And yeah, I mean, and what inspires me is you people, you know, that the young people that are listening on, that you are going to go out and make this world a better place, and totally you coming out and listening and taking to heart some of the things I'm saying. That's what inspires me.
It inspires me too, Remy. We have got some amazing classrooms of teachers and students, so thank you all today for such great sports and all of this. I'm going to head back to Miss Benoit's class, take one more from YouTube, and we'll wrap up with Miss Little in just a minute. But Miss Benoit, any other questions? Hi.
Do you make up the songs?
Ooh, yes.
You know, most of the songs I sing, I do make up. Yeah. Today, the one I did not was the Beaver song, which is such a great song, and it was done by a group called the Banana Slug String Band. You might want to look them up somewhere. They're a lot of fun. But all the rest are ones that I made up. And you know, you asked me about singing. For some reason, when I was quite young, I started writing songs and you know, decided to do it a little more publicly. But maybe you guys, this thing right here, "Make the Dream Come True," is from a song called "Think About the Planet," and you might want to listen to that online. But basically, I say, you know, we all have our gifts to share, and something that we can do to make the world a better place. And it just happened for me, it was singing and writing songs. But for you, maybe it's you're a great athlete or a dancer or somewhere we can get that message out about caring for the planet.
Outstanding. What a great question. I love this sort of related one from Juan in Miss Babbitt's class, grade 3 student. Who gave you your guitar? So you're such a songwriter, you come up with these great ideas, but you obviously are so talented on that. Did you get gifted it, or did you buy it yourself? What's your story of the instrument?
You guys are asking such awesome questions. These are really, really good. This guitar has a lot of story to it. I'm not going to tell you about that, but my very first guitar was from my mother. I was 16 years old, and she insisted on buying me a guitar. We didn't have a lot of money, so I was trying to convince her, no, we can't afford it. But she insisted, and so I'm really grateful to her for having done that. And I took a few lessons with a neighbor in the small town I lived in Ontario. And suddenly I started all these songs. I was able to write a whole bunch of songs once I had that tool of the guitar. It was very simple, but it was that's where I got my first guitar. And I've had a few different guitars since then, which I've purchased or traded or been given. So
very good question, guys. All right. As I said, time flies when you're having fun. Now, Remy's had this in his name the entire time, but envirosongs.ca, if you want to learn more about this, get some of those lyrics down pat, sing along with your classes after this broadcast is done. And of course, we'll make sure all our registered classes have the link to this session as well, if you guys want to keep the singing along and fun going after we're done. But Miss Little, if you guys want to wrap us up with one final question, come on in and go for it. Hi, guys.
Say hi.
Hey.
Our students are wondering, what is your favorite thing in nature?
Ooh, so hard.
Favorite thing in nature? Wow. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one thing. I think just all of nature is just so incredible. You know, the more we learn, the more we find out about it. You know, you did ask me a favorite animal, but yeah, in nature, I think just nature itself and the ecosystem, the way it all interacts and everything's interrelated, and you know, every one little thing connects around. So that's what's amazing to me. So every little action we do ripples out, just like anything that happens in nature has an effect.
Yeah. I love you talked about marine plastic earlier, and in our plastic presentations, we get questions from kids in Saskatchewan. They say, why does it matter to us, basically, what happens to the ocean? And it's all connected. What you do in Antarctica impacts what happens in Europe. What you do in Australia impacts what happens here in Canada. And I think that's one of the big lessons that a lot of our students are really well aware of now. And so it's such a beautiful answer. I will stress, too, back to the very beginning of your presentation, for our kids, if you get the chance to look up the Yukon or go to the Yukon in your lives, it's one place I haven't been in Canada, and I'm so excited to head there one day. But it's one of the most special places, not just in our country, but truly on a global scale. So Remy, this has been so much fun. Honestly, one of my very favorite programs I've done, and I've hosted well over 1,000 of these at this point. So this has been a great time. What we do to wrap every broadcast, I'm going to bring in our classes. Some of them had to go for lunches and other things, but Miss Little and Miss Benoit, if you want to join me in saying a big thank you and farewell to Remy for joining us today. You are in our session. Thank you so much.
Au revoir.